Okay, you guys, I know you're angry, and there's no reason to be angry, even though it wasn't. Well, it was my fault for letting you guys fall down that hole, but I apologize. And why are you guys looking at me like that?
Bullseye.
Hey, what's going on? It is GuideFlightsT here, and today we are going over episode. Wait, what episode is it? Because we did episode 8, then I had to rename it episode 9. So yes, this is episode 10. We are finally in the double digits. I'm very, very excited to bring you this episode on earthquakes and fault lines. So yeah, we've been covering a lot of that lately, but today we're just going to be going into it a bit more detailed. But first, we're going to cover this little diagram that I've made for you. So this is a plate boundary, like this. So yeah, today we're talking about fault lines, firstly. Yeah, plate boundary. And then over here we have fault lines. And what are fault lines? Well, I've actually got a definition right here. You guys won't be able to see it, but I might just type it up. So I'm just going to go ahead and read it real quick. Okay, a fault line is a fracture along which the crust has moved. Stresses in the crust along New Zealand's plate boundaries, or other plate boundaries, like in other places, have broken it into separate fragments or blocks. They have that move relative to each other along the fault lines. So yeah, I've actually already written it down, so I was slapping myself on the forehead right there. But here we are, again, we'll just go over it. So a plate boundary, we'll just cover this real quick, where two plates meet. Tick, done. Okay, and this is a fault line, which is a fracture along the crust, where, it's a fracture along where which the crust has moved. And then, so this is a fault line, so that's the main fault line there, going through there, and then it's fractured off into fault lines. Okay, and then stresses in the crust along plate boundaries have broken it into separate fragments or blocks that move relative to each other along the fault lines. So yeah, so just to go over that again, fault line gets fractured by the plate boundary when they sort of smash themselves a little bit and cause lots of little fault lines to go off. So these can rupture at their own time when pressure builds up, and then they rupture, and then you get earthquakes, which is why when the earthquake in New Zealand in September 2010, September the 4th, went off, that's because the fault line ruptured, so not the main plate boundary, otherwise it would have been a whole lot worse. It probably would have reached like 8 magnitude or like 9 magnitude, which is 90 times more powerful than an 8 magnitude. That's what a 9.0 magnitude on the Richter scale is. Anyway, before I confuse with that, let's move on to our second part of today, which is earthquakes in action, I guess. So there are 3 different types of waves that move through the Earth's crust during an earthquake. These include the P waves, S waves, and L waves. We'll go over those soon. Okay? Sweet. Okay, so this is the stats for the P wave, the primary wave. Okay, the speed is 8 kilometers a second, not 3 to 8. I messed up, okay? Because you're done goofed. Yeah, I did that, okay? So just ignore that bit. So action, push and pull. Push/pull. So then we have some diagrams. So we have a house, then we have the push and pull part that goes and like that, which is why it's not useful if you have a brick house. And there's your little chimney on the top. Awesome. Okay, and then we have the speed, 8 kilometers a second, not 3 to 8. Okay, the arrival is first. That's what primary stands for. The damage is the least. In water, the earthquake will pass through, and it is located in the crust. So this is the first wave, and it's not as bad as the second one, but then there we go, push and pull, chimney falling over, and then chimney fell on the ground. That's pretty sad, and now it's broken. Chimney is dead. He's dead. Okay, let's go on to our second diagram, which is the secondary wave. Okay, so the action, they go side to side, upwards and downwards. See? This one's a normal house. This one's going side to side. Look at that. And the chimney's off already. He got owned. He just got absolutely done right there. And then we have the arrival is second. That's what the S stands for. And the damage is moderate. So this is probably the worst wave that you want to get hit by. And the chimney is dead. And my brilliant idea is, I thought I am a bit of a cabbage, so I didn't pick this up after the first wave came through. And I thought, well, since that one's pretty weak, why not just build your house on water? That's a good idea, because then, since this wave gets absorbed in water, and it's also located in the crust. But since this just gets absorbed when in water, just build your house in water. But I didn't realize that there's also a third wave called the L wave. Sweet. So the L wave. Okay, right over here. Let's go. The action is a rolling, so it rolls and rolls and rolls. The speed is quite slow, but it goes for a very long time, obviously. 4 kilometers a second. That's still not very slow, but that's a lot more. That's way slower than the rest of those. The arrival is the third, and it is the most damaging, deadliest wave of them all. It's a bit like Plants vs. Zombies. The first wave's easy, then it's a bit harder, then it's just totally annihilated. Okay, water. It passes through. So our poor little house got annihilated, and the chimney also got annihilated as well, but that's unfortunate. And the location is the surface only, or the surface of like this. It would happen like sort of there, or is it at the top of the crust? I think that might be. Yeah. And also the chimney, you just got wasted. You just got absolutely annihilated over there, buddy. I'm sorry. He did not make it. But yeah, so that's why you don't build on water, because this one just comes in and wrecks it. Okay. Also, so the first one, the P wave, strikes at the very bottom of the crust. The S wave strikes at the top of the crust, or sort of higher up in the crust. And the third wave, I believe, strikes either at the top of the crust or at the surface. But you do get results from earthquakes occurring like 300 kilometers deep, but that's probably just because they're very, very small. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. Sorry this episode's gone a little bit longer. We're going to wrap it up real quick. I've been GadFlyHD, and we will see you guys next time. Goodbye.